Definiteness in Targum Onkelos, the second part. In the first part of this video, we talked about how the determined state in Jewish literary Aramaic can communicate an indefinite noun concept or a definite noun concept. So we need more information to figure out, is it an indefinite or definite noun concept? I'm going to use blue for indefinite ideas. And you see in the bottom both Enashah and Gavar representing Ish in the Masoretic text of Genesis 9:5, a man. That is probably expected. And then Guvrin, which is the absolute state plural of this noun, is communicating Anashim from Genesis 12:20, men. So not the men, but men. Now here I'm going to use red for a definite noun idea. Gavra is communicating Ha'ish, that concept in Genesis 24:21, the man. And perhaps, as expected, Guvraya is communicating Ha'anashim, the men, in Genesis 14:24. But what we might not expect, I'm going back to blue here, is Gavra communicating Ish in Genesis 4:1, not the man, a man. I have acquired a man from before the Lord. And what about Guvraya? Well, same thing. In Genesis 32:29, Guvraya is representing Anashim. You are great before the Lord and with men. So we need context to discern between indefinite and definite concepts communicated with a determined state. But what kind of context? Well, first, we can look at demonstratives, for instance. Will you go with this man? This is a word-for-word translation. And when we have the man, the this, that kind of idea, well, it needs to be a definite idea communicated by the determined state noun. And also, we may remember that the sign of the direct object is actually the sign of the definite direct object in both Hebrew and Aramaic. So here on the top, we have Va'et ha'anashim, the men. On the bottom, Vayat Guvraya in Genesis 19:11. So those are examples of being able to use context to figure out whether the Kametz Aleph noun is communicating an indefinite or definite idea. So let's continue with reading Genesis in Targum Onkelos.